Hi, my name is Tom Crandall from 10kstepsdaily.com, and today we're going to be reviewing the Vittoria IKON. So Vittoria sent us these shoes about 2 months ago to test out, and so we've had them for about 2 months now and really enjoyed the shoes. So the thing that makes these shoes a little bit unique compared to some of the other shoes out there is they're not using a boa closure system. They're actually using Vittoria's own closure system that seems to work. And so the way it works is you have these little tabs, and so as you pull the tabs, it gives you a little handle so that you can either loosen or tighten the tension. And the tension is based on these little cords. So they're not using metal cords, they're using some type of synthetic material there. Well, one thing that I really like about these shoes is if I open it up here, let me just open it a little bit more, you have a lot of room to get your foot in. So entry is really easy with these shoes, so you just sort of slide your foot in and then you can tighten it down. One of the things that I don't like about these is sometimes when you're riding the bike and you go down to grab or adjust the tension, sometimes you miss the tab. It just, for whatever reason, I can't get the feeling for the tab, and so I can't pop these up to actually turn. And with a boa closure system, say like here on the S-Works, it's pretty easy that once you hit the knob, you can move it back and forth without really having to think too much. So for a beginner who's not used to that, I think the boa closure system might be a little easier. Once you get used to the shoes and used to the tabs, it's not as big a deal, but initially trying to open the tab up and then make the adjustment on the fly is a little more difficult. The shoes have a ton of little laser drilled holes in them to let airflow in, and then down on the bottom they also have these little mesh panels that also allow air flowing in. Now I do have the Vittoria HORA here, or Aura, and that one actually had some mesh up front, so that also allowed a little bit more airflow than these. So going on the inside, they do have a little insert here, and this is moldable, but I didn't really find that the insert was really all that. It's pretty flexible. Maybe if they had a little bit harder of an insert, you probably can get an aftermarket insert if you really need an insert. I didn't need to mold this one. I just sort of left it as is, and that was fine for me. The bottoms of the shoes really haven't changed all that much in probably like 2 or 3 years, at least from the way they look. They're super stiff, so it's a carbon sole. But one of the issues, especially beginners will have, and even people who are advanced, is when you're riding around town and you're always having to clip out of your cleats. One thing I've noticed, and this is true with a lot of road shoes, is you have this really long surface of carbon, and so when you click out and then you try to click back in, what ends up happening is if you miss where you're supposed to click in, all of a sudden you feel like you're sliding on ice. And so I've done that a few times, and so you can see there's a little bit of wear on the shoe here where I've missed connecting to my actual pedal. And so it would be sort of cool, and I don't know, maybe this is because of aerodynamics, they don't want to do this, but having some rubber here to give you a little bit of grip just in case you do miss the pedal, because otherwise what happens is you go to engage and then you miss it, and then all of a sudden you're like sliding off the pedal really fast. The shoes themselves I found really comfortable. They have sort of a wide toe box in here, or at least wider than some shoes out on the market. But they're great shoes. We hadn't had any issues with them. The adjustability is really nice. One thing, we tested these like 2 or 3 years ago, and one thing that I didn't like about this particular model was the tension was over your forefoot. So what would end up happening is as you would increase the tension, you get a little bit of pressure on your forefoot. And so with these, I always wished that they had moved these over on the side, and sure enough, they came out with this last year, late last year, and they put two on the side. You'll notice that there's a lot of shoe companies now that have tensioners on the side. Some also have a little strap here to add maybe even some extra tension. I think the new Specialized have a little Velcro closure system here, plus two adjustment knobs on the sides. But I'm really sort of surprised you don't see the Icon more in shoe reviews, because it's a great shoe. Italians certainly know how to make a shoe look pretty awesome. CD and Vittoria, I think, both know how to do that. I was a little disappointed this year with Specialized, and their color combinations seem sort of flat. So thank you so much for watching. This is again Tom Crandall from 10kstepsdaily.com. Have a great day.